This is Paul Johnston, and these are some of my earliest memories of Wesley Acres Camp. In 1973, I was serving as East Ontario Conference Superintendent along with Earl S. Bull. Alf and Phyllis Reed invited our family to their summer home at a trailer park near the sandbanks. The Reeds had taken notice of a property southwest of Bloomfield, Ontario that belonged to Harvey McFarland, owner of the McFarland Construction Company in Picton. Alf had his eye on this property for a Free Methodist Conference campground, and the express purpose of this invitation was to chat about this prime piece of land, and that had 250 acres and 4 miles of shoreline. Alf had heard that there was some talk of negotiations between Harvey McFarland and Disney World regarding a possible theme park for the province of Ontario, but it was said that Mr. McFarland was really not interested in turning his property into a theme park, but had a heart for helping needy children and had been allowing groups of children from Picton to swim at a spot near the entrance of the property. After a barbecue at the Reeds, Alf, myself, and my 2-year-old son Jason got in the Reeds boat and we headed across West Lake to the McFarland property. No car access was available at the property because of a locked gate. So Alf showed us around the property by boat, and as we toured around and walked around, we noticed he pointed out the North and South Hickory Islands, the Gasket Island, and Bush Islands, 4 different islands. The vastness of the property was breathtaking, and we talked about what the possibilities were if the Free Methodist Church could buy this 250-acre land and then develop it as a conference campground. We discussed how families could use it all year long and the possibility of its use for children's camps during the summer. The buildings on the property at the time included a large 3-story barn, a smaller barn with a basement and a main floor, a silo beside the smaller barn, 2 cottages closer to the lake, and a large brick 2-story farmhouse. The large barn had been a pig pen on the first floor with concrete stations and for the cattle area, a hen house on the second floor, and the third floor was the hay mow. Although in good repair, the farmhouse and cottages had not been lived in for years and needed a lot of work. Before any agreement could be made with Mr. McFarland, the East Ontario Conference had to meet and discuss and approve of the purchase at the conference of July 27, 1973. A resolution was passed by the 73 East Ontario Annual Conference at Light and Life Camp near Kingston, and the agreement was signed in the fall of 73. 3 existing camps, Stittsville, Light and Life, Upper Ottawa Valley, in Shawville, agreed to close and become a part of this new project eventually. When West Lake Camp opened, Orland Camp then later became a part. Earl Bull, Harold Sutton, and I went to see Mr. McFarland's office in Picton to make this agreement to buy the property. It was the front office in his McFarland building in Picton, and construction company it was his construction company headquarters. On the right side of the building there were curved windows. Mr. McFarland was very interested in the Free Methodist Church buying this property because he knew it would be used to meet the needs of children. As the committee talked to Mr. McFarland, when they reached the point of the agreement where the conference would buy the property, Mr. McFarland said, And I quote, "I think we should pray about this." And he dropped to his knees behind his desk. The delegation from the conference, which included me, thought that they should drop to their knees, and we all prayed. When the prayer was finished and the men were on their feet again, Mr. McFarland remarked, "Gentlemen," this is a quote, "Gentlemen, I believe I have just done something good for God." A deposit of $25,000 was made on the property, and the total cost was $250,000. It was arranged at 8% interest, with the balance to be paid off in 10 years. After the purchase, there was a Possess the Land weekend in '73 with about 20 young Free Methodist families trekking to the point on the largest island camp for the weekend with their own camping facilities. It was a joyous time as all of the trailers drove over bumpy roads to get to the spot that they had selected, where both sides of the island could be seen. No one at that time thought that this would be the main development area, but that it would eventually be farther in, near where the property was already taking place. They all knew that God had provided a piece of property that would minister to families and children far into the future, and it has. In August '73, Possess the Land weekend, work weekend, and a second Possess the Land, a second work weekend in September, made everyone realize that there would have to be many volunteers to help make the acreage into the dream that these families hoped it would become. Wheels weekends were also established in June and August and October of that year as well, where volunteers would come to the property and bring their own facilities for the camping and work together to clean up the property. It was decided that the best place to start clearing and cleaning was from around the existing buildings over the wooded area on the west side. There would be a shoreline and enough property without trees where trailers could easily park. At the beginning, people began to park on the concrete slab in the front of the small barn, with the water not far away. Everyone pitched in on each Wheels weekend to do what they could. Children and adults alike picked up stones, and tons of stones and rocks, to prepare more area for dedicated families who were willing to help begin to make the area available to as many people with trailers as possible. For the time being, there were no buildings suitable for people to stay in. The first kids' camp for young teens was held in August of '74, along with 3 Wheels weekends that year to prepare for the first family camp, which launched in June of 1975. Since that agreement with Harvey McFarland, we praise God for the 50 years of Christ-centered camping programs, the spiritual growth, and the family recreation for the Free Methodist denomination for thousands and thousands of other campers along the way.
Follow Jesus, I will follow Jesus. Anywhere he leads me, I will follow. Anywhere he leads, I'll go. Across the river, down through the valley, or if it be on the mountain high, I'll go, Lord, anywhere you want me. Take me, here am I. Follow Jesus, I will follow Jesus. Anywhere he leads me, I will follow. Follow Jesus, I will follow Jesus. Anywhere he leads, I'll go. Follow Jesus, I will follow Jesus. Anywhere he leads me, I will follow. Follow Jesus, I will follow Jesus. Anywhere he leads, I'll go. Across the river, down through the valley, or if it be on the mountain high, I'll go, Lord, anywhere you want me. Take me, here am I. I can't forget what he's given to me. I've been so happy since he saved me. I'll never try to live without him. I'll never cease to praise his name. Oh, follow Jesus, I will follow Jesus. Anywhere he leads me, I will follow. Follow Jesus, I will follow Jesus. Anywhere he leads, I'll go. Follow Jesus, I will follow Jesus. Anywhere he leads me, I will follow. Follow Jesus, I will follow Jesus. Anywhere he leads, I'll go. Follow Jesus, I will follow Jesus. Anywhere he leads, I'll go. Anywhere he leads, I'll go. Anywhere he leads, I'll go. When I think of all he's done for me, it makes me wanna cry tears of happiness. When I think of how he set me free, it makes me wanna cry tears of joy